Welcome to On a Mission, the Taylorville edition, and yes, it does rhyme. I'm lucky to be here. I'm Chris Budihas, your host. I'm with Chad with Calvary. How you doing, Chad?
I'm doing well, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed. So, a couple of things. Number one, you were in the Navy. You were talking off camera.
Yes.
And what did you do in the Navy?
I worked on F-18s.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah. And how long did you do that for?
4 years.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
You know, if you didn't do what you did, we couldn't do this here today. So
That's true.
We're blessed to have people like you.
Absolutely. Well, service goes around, right?
It does.
It's like service is obviously a big part of military heritage, is yours as well.
Yes,
so
sir.
thank you for your service. But
Thank
also,
you.
with what I do as a pastor, I just consider that an extension of what I do, is just serving God.
Yeah, that's excellent. So, Taylorville.
Yeah.
Originally from here.
Yeah.
You go in the Navy. You go to Georgia.
Right.
You came back.
Right.
Why did you come back?
Good question. I get asked the same question all the time. So we spent a lot of years away, and then I think it was a little bait and switch because the church that we were called out of to go into ministry almost 20 years ago, they needed a pastor, right? So they said, hey, could you come in and do some pulpit supply? So they said, hey, a weekend trip, you come and connect with the rest of the family and come and preach for us. It'll be great. So we went once, came back once. And he said, hey, we really like that. We need somebody else on these dates. Think about coming back. By the second time, I knew that God it put in my attention that I needed to kind of throw my name in the hat, so to speak, to see if we're supposed to be here.
That's great. Yeah. So, because this is going to go out in Google News and all the other internet sphere organizations and people that post. So, why would you tell folks to move to Taylorville?
Yeah. Taylorville is a great place to know and be known. It's all of the beauty of a small town. You can make a difference very quickly in a town like this because a close-knit community, you see this with all the action that's going on here today and that happens here on a regular basis. You can make a difference here very quickly.
That's excellent.
And it's like what JFK said. He says, the rising tide lifts all boats.
Oh,
right?
I say it all the time. Yeah.
And as do I. Yeah. And of course, me being a pastor of a local church, I know that I play a part in being for the city. And I want to support others who are like-minded in that mission.
Yeah. So I've been around town the last 2 days.
Yeah.
It's a very tight-knit community.
Yes.
A very faith-based community.
Yep.
So with your church, doors are always open, correct?
Absolutely.
And why should they come to the Calvary?
I would say we don't have the gospel cornered, right? So there are a lot of great churches in our city. Yeah. There really are. We have an opportunity of serving families, and whether it's older folks, younger folks, people in between, and we just want to be the type of family that every family would feel welcome.
That's excellent, because it's generational. I can only imagine. I've met some folks here where it's the grandparents, it's the parents, and their kids, and they're raising their kids.
Absolutely.
And I've heard the same story, like I left, and I didn't realize, I left because I just wanted to get out of here. Yeah. And I didn't realize how good I had it, so I came back.
And it's so common when it comes to small towns, right? Yeah. And the beauty of today is just kind of elevating Taylorville as a small town. And that's one of the things I think that it's commonly spoken as people get out of high school. They're like, I got to get out of this town. And then they have a taste of something else, and then they realize, wow, I kind of like the small town charm. I like being able to know people and be able to go to the restaurant where they know your name. And, if you go there enough, maybe spend enough money, they know your order, those kinds of things. It's just,
I love that.
It's great about, I think, a tight-knit community like ours.
That's awesome, Chad. So any final words before we wrap this up?
No, I would just say thank you all for being here and just elevating the city. And again, everything about this city, I think, is that you're going to see a lot of beautiful things today. And I just want to say thanks to you and everyone who's behind the scenes making today possible.
I appreciate it. So, Chad, for those who are kind of considering, coming to Taylorville or coming to Calvary, how do they find Calvary? Yeah,
cbctaylorville.com.
Okay.
We're on Facebook and all that too. You can find us easily. But cbctaylorville.com, you'll see all the ministries, you'll see the preaching, you see the other things that we do, and to be able to just, again, love on people, reaching for Jesus.
You got a beautiful story. Thanks for your service to the nation, and thanks for your service to your community.
Thank you.
Hey, folks, you like what you heard, please share us, connect with Chad and I. Man, what a special place Taylorville is. And you just hear about the recipe and the fabric of this community and what they do to rise, those ties to lift all boats. And you don't find that everywhere, but you will find it here in Taylorville. See our next segment, Live with Gratitude.